So this is actually a continuation of a story that I did 2 weeks ago about Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy and the fate of Redbox being thrown into question because Redbox was bought by Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment, I think like back in 2022. So this is an unfortunate part 2 to this story. It has been announced that Redbox is officially being shut down as part of Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment's Chapter 7 bankruptcy. So if you don't know the difference, Chapter 11 bankruptcy, you're able to, it's more about reorganizing the assets and the debt and everything to try to find a way forward. Chapter 7 is essentially you're going to liquidate everything to pay off the debts, right? So originally they were going to theoretically get to keep these assets. That is not going to be the case. They are liquidating the entire company to help pay down their debts, which means that about 25,000 Redbox kiosks are going to be shutting down, right? Again, like I said, in terms of the context, Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment bought it in 2022. And I remember seeing stories coming from the CEO of the parent company of Redbox having these like ridiculous delusions of grandeur, wanting to be like a Disney level sized company, which was preposterous at the time and has now been borne out to, yes, it was in fact preposterous because that's ridiculous, right? And it didn't help that recently, Redbox was already struggling. It was already a floundering business, and ultimately I kind of see this as like an unforced error on Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment's part. Because again, Redbox, physical media has been dwindling for like 10, 15 years now. And I believe like Redbox already had its own debt and financial issues. And then by taking it on, it was just a complete clusterfuck, right? And per my story last week, Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment was facing major financial troubles. It hadn't paid its roughly 1,000 employees, and as of today, still hasn't paid these employees for like a month. So basically, they've been doing this work and have not gotten paid, and there's a good chance they are not going to get paid out for this time that they had been working for like 4 weeks. And again, like I said, last week they officially filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, but I think now has been transformed into Chapter 7. So this isn't a super long story. Ultimately, the reason why I wanted to talk about this again, and I kind of talked about this with the last story, like when I talked about this 2 weeks ago, is that this is just another major blow to physical media, right? Redbox wasn't keeping it alive by any means. It was not like Redbox was the dam protecting physical media from the flood of digital distribution. But, I'm sure that it was a steady, if maybe paltry, source of revenue for the studios, right? That it was at least a little bit of money that they could count on, right? Now that this distribution model is essentially dead, and Netflix has recently shuttered its DVD mailing rental, part of its subscription, which is how it started. Now there's just one less reason for studios to even make physical copies of their films, right? And that's the downstream worst case scenario, is that studios just have less and less reason to even make a DVD or Blu-ray or a 4K Ultra HD disc, right? Which is a shame. As someone like me who's, a film collector, I like to make sure I have all the movies that I care about on physical media because you never know when it's going to get pulled off of a streaming service. So this is definitely disappointing to see. Again, I really don't mourn Redbox. When it launched, it felt like it literally launched right at the peak of physical media, and it literally just went downhill from there like every year, like in the early mid 2000s. So Redbox, I cry no tears for Redbox necessarily, but it's just the downstream effects are going to be unfortunate, right? And then also on top of this, that 1,000 people have not been paid for a week. And they're probably not going to get paid, and now they lost their job. So this whole thing is just a clusterfuck. It's a complete corporate mismanagement, every way you slice it.